All right, so there's a few different ways that you can continue on from painting your eye once you have the iris completed. So I'm going to show you all three different ways, and then you can pick and choose. You can combine, or you can try something entirely different. It's really going to be up to you. So for the first one, I just kind of really want like a blob-ish shape around my eye. So I don't really want anything too crazy. So I'm going to get a thicker brush because I'm going to be doing a lot of painting. It's always a good habit when you get back to kind of stir up your paints. They kind of sit and settle at the bottom. Density is a little bit different than the water, and so water is a little bit lighter than the actual pigment, so you can kind of see that blob down there. Alright, so I'm just going to take this. This is my yellow. I'm going to kind of stay in a yellowish family, okay, and I'm just going to kind of paint it wherever I want. You know, a little bit underneath, a little bit on top. I'm going to get it even over here on this side. Let it kind of go off the paper. Okay, and because I'm going to kind of stay in a common color family, so I'm going to kind of mix it into now an orange color. And so I'm going to kind of just put in this orange. And again, I'm just letting it be whatever it needs to be. Kind of blob. I don't want to take up my whole paper. But you see how the transition isn't very well, so I'm going to come back with just water, with a clean brush and just using water. And this is going to give me my transition. It's going to make it a little bit better. Alright. Now, for my next color, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush because I want, wrong color. Because I just want little droplets of it, kind of like more of an outline. But I want it also to be really watery. So I'm just going to kind of pile it on. And just every once in a while. I'm not really looking for... And be careful, it can drop at any time from your brush if you have a lot of paint on it. So I'm just kind of adding it just a little bit here and there. Alright, then I'll smooth that out. If you have a big watery area, you can take a straw. If I decide I want a little bit more of that action, right? But see, now I'm letting the abstract and the accident happen in my work. I don't have any control over it. It's going to do what it kind of wants to do. Now I'm going to have this really interesting kind of color combination around my eye, right? So, again, notice, you know, I kind of like what's going on over here, but I don't really have a lot going on over here, so trying to fix that, right? And there you go. So there's one way, right, that you can kind of create this really kind of abstract kind of eye. All right, so let's say you don't want such a big area. Say you kind of like that abstract kind of just blow it out kind of scene. Okay, so you can take a medicine dropper, and all you got to do is pull back on the plunger and then push, and anything out will spit out. So for this one, I'm going to kind of go with a different palette. I'm going to start with yellow again. And here you have to be kind of careful And this is what you see. The gel is the pigment that stayed in the yellow. Okay, I'm going to clean it out because I'm about to dip it in another color. And I'm just slowly releasing. You don't want to release crazy on this, because if you do, it's just going to go everywhere. So I'm just slowly releasing my color. Alright, so now, just like before, you have to be careful because it will come back into the eye. So you have to be really careful as you move your paper around. So in this case, you have less control of what's going on. So you have to be prepared for any kind of accidents, splatters, and things that you just can't control. Now I've got a lot of paint over here. You can decide to take it all the way to the end, or you can leave there and let it dry. Now, so again, I don't have a lot going on over here. I have a lot coverage here. I really like what's going on there, and so I need to kind of balance that out. As I look at it, I can see that I have an issue there, so I got to balance that out. So I grab a little bit of color again. Now, because I didn't clean this out properly, I've contaminated my yellow with green. And you can come back in and add it somewhere else. Or here's a combination, the third combination, right? You could just take this and push it and it just explodes out. Okay? So just be careful with it because it will get crazy. And so I kind of like this controlled method, this slow release, and I'll blow it out. Alright, so I don't really want any blue this time. And that was probably too much there, but at the same time you can see now I've got this really cool. So these are two different ways that you can kind of, and you saw a third way, it gets really messy, that you can just kind of release your color and enjoy an abstract, uncontrolled release of color.